going to go in the line, and then please be recording, especially on any reference to a particular office. Be recording. So let's start.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Didan Mubanjizi. I represent the people of Wulira South. Mr. Chairman, today we must first of all welcome our colleagues. Thank you so much for coming back today in a better state. You should know that this committee has a mandate to summon everyone, including the chairperson who had not appeared the other time. Mr. Chairman, my observation is that this commission clearly has a management crisis. As you have seen from the commissioners, it is true that they are actually divided. There is a clique of those who are closer and are performing duties, which duties may not actually be that official, because some people are sitting, some people are taking money, while others are home sleeping. Mr. Chairman, one commissioner noted clearly that since March there has not been a single meeting by a commissioner by the commission for whatever reasons. That is a big anomaly. Since 2024, it is true that no tribunal has sat. It is also true 2025. I beg to be corrected, Mr. Chairman. I want to ask the chairperson, how much money would you need to conduct or have a sitting of a single tribunal about this sensitive institution? Yes, when you look at your financial statement, we will see on page 12 that actually you have a challenge with insufficient funding from government. But how much do you need to at least consider having a single tribunal sitting in 1 year? Number two, I want to also talk about the cases, how they are registered and how you follow up the cases. One of the commissioners noted out clearly that you have now since launched, or you are about to launch, a better system that registers these cases. Is it true, therefore, that actually since 2024 there hasn't been any case registered, and they are just piling on top of the others that have already been existing and not attended to? I beg to submit, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Batua.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, colleagues, and our witnesses. Madam Chairperson, I want to know whether your mind agrees with mine, especially when it comes to be true that the biggest problem or the biggest challenge before your institution is actually finance. You're poorly financed. According to our constitution, these fundamental, the national objectives and directive principles of state policy in the constitution, and this is 5, fundamental and other human rights freedoms. Your entity is supposed to be independent. And here it states clearly that the state shall guarantee and respect institutions which are charged by the state with responsibility for protecting and promoting human rights by providing them with adequate resources to function effectively. Now, look at what we call adequate resources for you to function effectively. Let's go to page 12. But before, let's start with page 17, the statement of appropriation. So that you see what government gave you to function effectively. You know, some of these struggles and exchanges are arising out of no finance. You do not have a budget to carry out tribunals, and your members of the commission are requiring you to call for the meetings. So if you don't have a budget to call for these meetings, effectively you can't call the meetings. You get it? So the problem is in appropriation. Now, you asked for 20 billion, if you're there on page 17. And I remember I was in that meeting when you came with your policy statement, and we highlighted that the budget before us doesn't have any budget line to support the activities you're supposed to do, including the key activities of doing investigation of violence, of visiting these detention places. You didn't have budget line for those activities. And in that talking, money was added, 10.4 billion. Now the 10.4 billion, we can see here on page 12, in your financial performance statement, how you spent it. Just as the other lady, she's called Madame Nsamba, Nansamba, she was highlighting challenges of human resource. I can see most of that money went to compensation of employees for the staff. I think that is salary plus your NSSF. That is about 5 billion went into that. Then the other 4 billion went into goods and services. So we see an agency that didn't have money to do its key tasks. And this could be a challenge of the technical team. How do you do your budgeting? Why do you come to us and ask for only salaries and you do not ask for money to do these technical tasks? Your kind of work is peculiar in a way, in that you're supposed to go to the field. And it's government policy. For one to go to the field, you need the hotel, per diem, I think subsistence, there's a language you use, but all that has to be covered. And I think these tribunals may not be sitting there, you sit in the field, you get it. So please, accounting officer, you will give us a very strong response on the challenges you've had while budgeting, because there is no budget line to fund activities, and to me, that is where all these problems are starting from. Last but not least, in that year, I can see that there was money sent back. In as much as there is a challenge of money, but I see still there is money sent back to the consolidated account, about 700 million. In other entities we've faced, it has been a challenge of finance releasing money late. Is it the same in your entity? And then let me wind up with this. I see a grave lack of coordination. I think there was excitement, in my view, in the country, and you would feel like Madame Wangadia is very much responsible for the failure of some of these meetings. But from the information we are now getting, especially now that you've taken oath, and the financial statements we've interacted with, you can see an element that there is facts that are above her control, that are beyond her control, especially the finances. Now,
Honorable,
if you know
what is your
why
question?
did you communicate?
What is your question?
I'm interrogating
If
coordination
you have to
and
give
communication.
Evidence, no. Let me guide. Where you have evidence, we could allow you, but yes, order.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And of course, before I go to my order, I want to thank Honorable Batuma for being the counsel for the chairperson. But